Hey guys, how you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm coming back at you guys again for another review and my final thoughts on the Disney Plus MCU show that I've been reviewing on my channel lately, and that is The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yes guys, we're on episode 6 now, the final episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I've been reviewing almost every episode, basically, of this whole series so far. It's only was 6 episodes, this whole series. Really short series. Yeah, it was a pretty short series, all things considered. But it's still, I gotta say, was a great series and a great entry into the MCU. If you guys are curious into my thoughts on the previous episodes so far, make sure to just go check it out. The rest of my videos up on my channel. You can go check it out. Now, let me start out with the good things in this episode that I really love. Falcon's, well, now Captain America's new suit. I love it. Sam Wilson as Captain America. His suit is pretty comic book accurate, like full-on comic accurate. It's literally the suit ripped from the comic books, put onto the big screen, live action. I love it. It's amazing. It's, in my opinion, up there with some of the best comic book suits ever in existence. It's Shazam with the Aquaman costumes. It's like right up there with it, with the best comic accuracy, in my opinion, with the costumes. I love that open scene with Sam just flying in there and people asking him, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Captain America." I love it. I love it. And then they have that little scene of the guy going, "I thought Captain America was on the moon." Like from, previously on in the show when there's a big rumor that Captain America was on the moon. I love that. Also, too, what I really love that this episode in particular, now the show was teasing us, earlier on, but I love what this episode hones in and pulls bring on and home, is that Cap, the new Cap, Sam, doesn't need the serum. He doesn't need the serum. He is perfectly fine how he is, and he goes into that in his speech at the ending, which I'm going to get onto in a little bit, that he gives a speech, and he basically just says in that speech that he's just a normal guy, and that's what he is, and I feel like that is what is selling him as Captain America, in my opinion, is that he's just a normal guy, and he doesn't need a serum. He doesn't need extra enhancements or any of this extra stuff. He is just a normal guy, and I like that, and I love that for a Captain America, especially in today's age. I really love John Walker's arc in this whole show. Like, honestly, he is some of the big surprising arcs of this show that I end up loving. Like, when he first appeared and stuff, I did not expect to like him as much as I did, but I do. Like, he is so much more than who his comic book counterpart is, but at the same time still is true to his comic book counterpart. I loved how in the show when we first see him, he's actually a little bit on the good side. Like, he is almost redeems himself. And I do find it a little weird that, Sam and Bucky just kind of forgive him, like, right off the bat or work with him right away. But I do like how we have moments of him when he's going after Carly, where he has that second where he stops and he sees a group of people hurt, on the bus falling off, and he sees Carly, and he has that second where he looks back and forth, and he's like having that thing with his head where he's holding his head and everything, and he's freaking out, and he doesn't know, he's deciding what to do, and I like how he eventually goes and saves the people, and right there's like, okay, see, this is proving that, yeah, he is a good guy at heart, but still not a Captain America. I love that, and I loved how at the very end, in one of his post-credit scenes, we see him, emerging in the comic accurate U.S. agent suit. They actually call him in this U.S. agent, and I love that, and that, I think, is right there setting up that Marvel and the MCU have long-term plans for him, and that they have plans to do a lot with them, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be appearing a lot going forward in the MCU. And recently was just announced a Captain America 4 is going to be coming out, so I am thinking he's going to be appearing really soon in the MCU. Another character arc, too, in the show that was just nailed perfectly at the ending was Isaiah's story. The original Captain America, the original Black Captain America, Isaiah's story, I really loved. I loved it when we first were introduced to him, and we seen the actor. I'm not really sure on who's the actor's name, but whoever he is did an amazing job. He did an amazing job selling his performance, and ever since then, I was sold on his Isaiah character, and I wanted to see something happening to his arc. And we get that. I love that scenes with him and his grandson are watching Sam on the TV, and they have that face on them where he's like, he's actually seen a, black Captain America on set, like on TV talking and stuff. And I love how at the ending where Sam and him, they meet up, and Sam takes him, tells him he has a surprise for him, and he takes him to the museum, and he shows Isaiah that he's never going to be forgotten again. That here you go, right here, here's your memory, and he gives him he doesn't give him, but he shows him the museum of Isaiah Bradley, his story, and his story is told up on there, and I love the performance between him and his grandson when they are looking at his memories, all of his accomplishments, throughout his years serving in the military. And they're just breaking down. He hugs Sam, and he's shaking, and he hugs him. And it was such an emotional, great moment where I actually started tearing up. Like, it literally got me to tear up. And that is something that didn't happen at all in WandaVision. But this show did it to me, and this show got me to tear up. A really great scene, in my opinion. And I just loved it, and I loved the full character arc and story that we got with Isaiah. And now going back on to Sam's speech, I absolutely love Sam's speech. I thought his speech was great. I wanted to say this right here because it is something that I really loved. And it was a speech where it could have went bad. It could have turned bad. It could have turned too on the nose. But they didn't do that. And they stuck it great, and they made it a great speech, and honestly, one of the best Captain America speeches, in my opinion. Like, it was great. And that speech that Sam gives at the very end to the Senate, and to basically the whole world watching, I love it. And I love that kind of nod that, like, John Walker gives him, and he gives John Walker. And I just thought that whole speech was a true Captain America moment for Sam. And right there proves, if you were even doubting before that Sam can't be Captain America, then all your doubts should be, exterminated right now. Because that proves it right here, this scene, that he is Captain America. And we can't forget about this, but we also find out in this episode that Sharon Carter is indeed the power broker. I know, big surprise. And, it wasn't something I was crazy about. I wasn't crazy about her being a power broker. It wasn't something that totally blew my mind. Go, oh my God. But it was like, all right, I get it. Okay, cool. She felt betrayed by her country. She got betrayed by everything and was branded an enemy of the state when all she did was serve her country and got basically no reward from it. So, okay, I get it. She's a power broker. She's out for revenge to basically take down the entire government. And I'm in for it. It's not something, mind-blowing. It wasn't some big reveal, in my opinion. But I'm in for it, and I'm rolling with it. And I'm actually pretty excited to see where Sharon Carter goes in the future with this. And I love how it's setting up Armor Wars, too, with her calling one of her assistants or something, saying how they have access now to all this weaponry, and you better be prepared to call all of our buyers. I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be setting up Armor Wars. That is going to be the basically War Machine TV show that is coming on Disney Plus soon. A few things I want to touch on that I didn't really like about this episode, because there were a few things that I didn't love about it, and I gotta admit it, that I didn't love about it. That first thing is being Carly's death. I just was not in Carly's death. When Carly eventually died, and it felt like they were trying to go for an emotional moment where it was going to pull all of us, and the way how they had Sam carry her down and all that. I get what they were going for, but it just did not work with me. For this whole show, I was not really that much attached to the Flag Smashers and Carly. I just wasn't really buying their cause. I wasn't really into what they were really doing. It just felt too forced to me, and with her death, again, that just felt a little bit too forced, and I just didn't feel anything with it, and it was really sad, because they're supposed to be the main villains of the show, but I just didn't feel anything towards them at all. Finally, I want to say something that really bothered me, and I don't really get why they did this, and it's not that big of a deal, it's more of like a nitpick, but I really wish we got to spend more time with Bucky and that Yuri guy. I wish we got to spend more time with Bucky, telling him what happened and how he killed his son, and getting more of his reaction to Bucky. You know, we did see a little bit of him crying, looked away, and he looked back, and he goes, and he says, "Why?" And we get a little bit, but it ends up cutting like really fast, in my opinion, to the point where we couldn't. And it ended up cutting really fast to me, to the point to where we couldn't really get that emotional connection to it. And it kind of fell flat at the end when I really wanted to get into it. And I really wanted to feel so good, so emotional, even though I was there and I was feeling it because I was already attached to what they previously set up. I felt like they just rushed that scene too much, I feel like. And so now my basic overall thoughts of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, what it's called now, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, is that it was a great entry into the MCU. I absolutely loved this show. From the first episode up until the last, and the final episode definitely nailed it on the level for me. It wasn't a perfect finale in my opinion, but it still nailed what it was supposed to do. And I loved it. And I loved the message of the show. I loved the character development in the show and the very character base, how the show is going. I love the different ideals of political ideals from different sides and different point of views this show brings. It's something I really loved about The Boys, the TV show The Boys, is that they brought so much different sides and different viewpoints on the stuff. And I feel like this show did that a lot. I love them making Sam Captain America. I was one of the people that felt that there really shouldn't be another Captain America but Steve Rogers. But this show managed to sell me on the fact that, yeah, Sam is the new Captain America. And I am excited for it. I am there for it. I love his new suit. I love Bucky in the show. I really want to see more of Bucky. Zemo was fantastic in this show. I can't even forget about Zemo. Daniel Bareilles Zemo was just amazing. I cannot wait to see more of him. And his butler, too. I can't wait to see more. Oh, John Walker, too. I can't wait to see where we go forward with the U.S. agent and his storyline. Because it seems like now they're going to go full comic accurate with him. Which I am all the way there. This was basically an origin story for him. And now we're there as him as the villain, I think. And I can't wait to go forward with him into the MCU. This is a great show. I loved it. There was maybe a little bit stuff that I didn't like in certain episodes. Maybe some stuff was rushed, but that's pretty much it. As a whole, this is some of my favorite MCU things. I think I'm going to be watching this maybe a little bit more to WandaVision on rewatch, because I feel like this is a show that's definitely worth rewatching and worth binge watching, in my opinion, because it's straight up 6 hours. It's only 6 hours. So, I am all for binge watching the 6 hours of this show. So guys, let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts on this show, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, or better yet, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know. While you're at that, give this video a like, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. It all helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate your support. Until next time, guys, see you later.